Once upon a time in a small town named Harmonyville, there lived a wise old man named Mr. Johnson. He was known far and wide for his wisdom and the valuable life lessons he shared with anyone who would listen. In Harmonyville, like in many places around the world, the winds of change were blowing strong. The town's young generation had fallen under the spell of what they called woke culture. Woke culture had seeped into every aspect of their lives, even reaching into the realm of relationships. Boys and girls were encouraged to question their gender identity from a very young age. The school curriculum was infused with this ideology, and even some parents embraced it with enthusiasm. They believed that allowing their children to explore their gender identity freely was the path to enlightenment. Mr. Johnson, however, believed that common sense was a treasure too precious to be abandoned, even in the face of cultural shifts. He watched the young generation struggle with confusion and uncertainty as they navigated the complex web of gender identity. One day, a troubled young boy named Ethan knocked on Mr. Johnson's door. He was just 16 years old, but carried a heavy burden of confusion and doubt. Ethan had been bombarded with messages from his school, peers, and even his parents that he might be transgender. They suggested he consider puberty blockers and transitioning. Ethan felt lost, and in his heart, he knew he needed guidance. Mr. Johnson welcomed the young man and listened carefully to his story. As Ethan poured out his heart, Mr. Johnson realized that the boy was wrestling not only with his identity, but with the expectations and pressures of the world around him. Mr. Johnson began to speak to Ethan about the importance of common sense and critical thinking. He explained that while it was essential to respect and support individuals who genuinely struggled with their gender identity, it was also crucial to consider the long-term consequences of decisions like puberty blockers and transitioning, especially for those who might not truly need them. Ethan listened intently, feeling a sense of clarity he hadn't experienced before. He realized that he had been pushed onto a path that might not be right for him. Mr. Johnson told him stories of people who had regretted hasty decisions made during their youth, and the importance of seeking professional guidance before making life-altering choices. Over time, Ethan found the strength to have open and honest conversations with his parents and educators. He decided to seek professional counseling to understand his feelings better. Mr. Johnson's wisdom had given him the courage to pause and reflect before making any irreversible decisions. As time passed, Harmonyville began to see a shift in its youth. They started to question the blind adherence to woke culture and began to think critically about the choices they were being asked to make. Mr. Johnson's wisdom had ignited a spark of common sense, and it spread like wildfire among the town's young people. As the years went by, Ethan became a beacon of hope for many in Harmonyville. He didn't rush into any decisions about his gender identity, but instead focused on personal growth and self-acceptance. He eventually discovered that he didn't need to transition to be true to himself. Ethan's story inspired others to do the same, and the town witnessed a resurgence of common sense and critical thinking. In the end, the people of Harmonyville learned that while it was essential to be compassionate and inclusive, it was equally important to encourage young minds to think for themselves. Common sense, rooted in a deep understanding of the consequences of our actions, was the compass that guided them toward a brighter future. And so, the town of Harmonyville continued to thrive, nurturing the balance between compassion and common sense, ensuring a better future for the generations to come. The story serves as a poignant reminder of the importance of critical thinking and common sense in today's generation. In a world where societal norms and cultural shifts can sometimes overshadow individual reflection, it's crucial for young people to have the ability to question, analyze, and make informed decisions about their lives. While inclusivity and support for individuals exploring their gender identity are undoubtedly essential, this story underscores the significance of ensuring that these decisions are made with the utmost care and consideration. It highlights the potential consequences of rushing into life-altering choices and the value of seeking professional guidance when needed. In an age where information flows rapidly and societal pressures can be overwhelming, the story encourages us to strike a balance between compassion and common sense, offering a valuable lesson for the future generation in navigating the complexities of our ever-evolving world.